We're live.
Hello, welcome to this latest episode of Anywhere But Here. I think it's episode 8 now, isn't it?
We are on episode 8. Yeah, we haven't recorded for 2 weeks. I think we spent a long time talking about that in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
we
I think
recorded
so.
2 episodes in one go, which is all confusing. But we're feeling a bit out of practice and a bit uneasy about what we're doing now.
Yeah, it's strange. There's only been 1 week, and
yeah,
we're now
like, I don't know what we're doing.
But we're gonna try. We're gonna try and bring you a kind of, well-rounded show.
Yeah,
we've
we've actually made some breakthroughs. Well, I say breakthroughs. Tom and myself have both got sound.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get any sort of horrible... Have you got sound?
Yes, I do.
You have got sound. Sorry, you're playing with your volume. Yeah, so we're not going to get any horrible noises. I think we've decided we're not going to go live.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean, maybe when we get better set up we will. But we are recording on my camera that I ordered from Amazon that Amazon are not crediting me for because it got delivered to my address.
It sucks.
We're recording on that to go up to YouTube, so that will be up at some point in the next couple of days. And you can find our YouTube channel, just search for ABH Podcast.
In YouTube?
Yeah, that is our
And
name, ABH Podcast, because some guy scarily has the name ABH Pod because it's kind of like his initials and the abbreviation of his surname. Oh. Really weird. Kind of interesting. But yeah, search ABH Podcast. You can go to our new look website, abhpod.com.
There's a funky little survey for you to take.
Yes, which you may have heard me awkwardly talk about last week at the beginning of the podcast.
That's true, yeah.
It's very strange. Although we're doing this now and I feel quite relaxed, when I'm sat in the living room on my own at about 11 o'clock at night and I've got my headset on and I'm just kind of talking to myself, very, very strange.
It must be a bit strange.
It is very strange.
Yeah, you're talking to everyone, but yet you're on your own.
Yeah.
It's very...
this is fine because I'm talking to you. I don't know how people do podcasts on their own.
No.
Strange.
No, I couldn't do it.
Although, to be fair, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts to people on their own because they're quite boring.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
no
nothing like this one.
No, this is very interesting. You're on the edge of your seats.
Edge of your seats, yeah. So today is the 17th of March.
Yes.
Which means it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
The one day a year
everybody is Irish.
Yeah, everyone decides that they're Irish. And
are you actually Irish at all?
I am partially Irish.
How Irish?
Quarter.
Oh, so you're better than me. I'm like an 8th or a 16th Irish. Yeah. I think my dad's granddad was Irish.
Yeah, it was my granddad was...
I'm sure my dad will correct me because I always get it wrong. But yeah, I'm partially Irish. I'm not a big Guinness drinker either. I'm not a massive drinker, so I've never really gone out and celebrated St. Patrick's Day like a lot of people do.
I kind of embrace my Irish heritage a little bit. But I do always feel a little bit kind of
phony,
fake.
Like a phony. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you've got your Irish tattoos as well, haven't you? You've got your Celtic band with the clover.
Yeah. I'm proud of my Irish roots. And why shouldn't I be? But yeah, on St. Patrick's Day, it's like there are a lot of people who just it's become this day for people to go out and get completely wrecked for no apparent reason because the Irish drink.
Yeah, me and Liz are kind of decided when you texted me the other day going, oh, by the way, it is St. Patrick's Day on Sunday, and I said it to Liz and she was like, oh fuck, we're going up to London on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, you're
going to be a lot of green people going between Irish bars.
Yeah, lots of shamrocks, lots of those big floppy Guinness hats.
Yeah. If you buy 8 pints of Guinness, you get a hat,
something like that. Yeah,
like 8 pints of Guinness. Turds like rocks the next day for the next week.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I've only ever had 1 pint of Guinness in my life, and that bloody affected me.
Yeah, it can do. I think there was one St. Patrick's Day when I was at university where I managed to get to 18 pints.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That was messy for the next couple of days.
I can imagine. Or not, because you're probably having trouble.
Yeah. Oof.
That's a good start to the podcast. Let's talk about shit.
Scatological stories.
Scatological, I like that.
Thank you. I am a little bit under the weather today because I was out. I was up in London yesterday, and it was the Six Nations, and I was drinking.
Oh yeah, we got thrashed.
Yeah, we got absolutely mullered by the Welsh.
33, wasn't it? 33 it ended.
Yeah,
I'll turn it on for the second half because I'm not a big sports person. But I do like watching international rugby when it's international.
The Six Nations,
regional, rugby, isn't it? It's like Great Britain.
Yeah, the British Isles and Italy and France.
Yeah, just chuck them in
because they can.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Maybe we should have looked that up. But I'm sure there's a reason for that.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
No.
Perhaps we should look it up.
Yeah, not now though, because there's nothing worse than people
looking things up live.
Yeah, that's why we started about 20 minutes later than we wanted to because we were trying to get our pages loaded up. But yeah, Tom done a bit of research on St. Patrick's Day.
True. I've done some.
I knew he was going to do that, so I looked up stuff that happened on St. Patrick's Day in the past.
In history.
Which is quite interesting. But let's find out about St. Patrick's Day first.
Okay.
Yeah.
My little caveat. So, yeah, St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, it's not known, there's not a lot known about his early life, but at some point in his life, I mean, while he was growing up, he was born into kind of Roman Britain. He was born in 385 AD, died in 461.
Quite an age for. Although, if you're looking in biblical terms, people would live till they were nearly 1,000. So that's not that old at all, is it?
No, he lived to a ripe old age, especially for so long ago. I mean, obviously he was a blessed man.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And he went through some shit as well.
I've just realised we've gone religion the third podcast in a row.
Good God. Yeah, but it's not.
It's not our fault St. Patrick's Day fell onto this day.
Exactly. And anyway, who celebrates the actual...
no one's celebrating because they're religious.
Feast day.
And I mean, it's a Catholic thing anyway, isn't it, St. Patrick? So, the majority... I say a majority of people in England, but I was christened in a Protestant church.
Nah.
So... I wasn't baptised. And there's no difference.
So you haven't been freed of original sin then?
All right.
So at the age of 16, he was kidnapped by Irish raiders and taken captive as a slave to Ireland.
That's how all good action stories start, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, it's a bit like Taken.
Yeah.
He's there being all pious and stuff with his father, the deacon. His grandfather was a priest in a Christian church, and then all of a sudden Irish raiders come in and steal him as a slave. I don't know why that is. I'm not sure why he was picked. I can only imagine it's because he.
I don't know. Maybe he had some.
It doesn't say on the website that I'm looking at, but he was
Which
taken away.
To be Wikipedia.
Yeah. And they reckon that he was taken away to roughly where Mayo is nowadays on the west coast of Ireland. But apparently what happened was God visited him in a dream to flee and told him that he had to flee captivity where he would board a ship and then return to Britain. So he did.
Okay.
So these Irish raiders... absolute shit.
The thing that confuses me about this is an Irish holiday. St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Is an Irish holiday.
Well, was
St. Patrick Irish?
No, St. Patrick was born in Britain. He was a Briton. A Romano Briton. He
was taken to Southern Ireland, I should imagine.
Yeah,
the Republic,
County
because
Mayo.
Northern Ireland is part of Britain.
Well, yes, yeah.
That's what I was confused about. Where it says he was born in Britain, he could have been born in Ireland, Northern Ireland.
Well, I always heard that he was Welsh, in fact, but that would kind of make more sense if Irish raiders took him
closer
in
to
captivity.
Ireland. Yeah.
So I think he.
So
I think
why
he
did
was
the
born in
Irish
Wales.
celebrate St. Patrick when he?
He went back to Ireland in 432.
Oh, I didn't realise I was setting us up for a...
Yeah, you see, without even knowing it, you set me up to continue my story.
I actually interrupted what Tom was originally going to say.
Yeah, in 432, he went back to Ireland as a bishop, and he basically introduced Catholicism to the pagan Irish. And apparently he used the shamrock, the Irish symbol.
Yes, I did read this, and I thought, oh, that's interesting.
To explain the Holy Trinity of God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And I guess to make it easier to understand. Again, another example of Catholics taking a pagan thing.
Yes.
Using a plant,
which is of the
earth, to explain the theology.
Divine.
He was very successful at it, and the Irish took to Catholicism.
One
rapidly.
thing I'm wondering, while I look at that actual paragraph about it, he Christianized the Irish. Is that a Christianized to Christianize?
I don't know whether that would be recognised by the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah, can you Christianize something?
I guess
like your way. He brought Catholicism.
Yeah, he brought Catholicism. That says
to
Christianise the Irish. I thought I'd use better wording.
Yeah.
Or tried anyway.
That's what you get from Wikipedia, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Don't trust it.
Yeah, I thought about that shamrock thing. I thought, oh, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, it is quite interesting.
I mean, like I said, I did look up about St. Patrick. Even though I know you were going to do it, I looked up St. Patrick's Day. But as always with the internet, you get taken to an American site, and they're talking about the Americans. And what I didn't realise was when the Irish originally went, because they're huge on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, massive!
Like huge Irish culture.
Yeah.
In
I
New
mean,
York,
during the
not
time
New York, but like which island of New York is it? Is it Staten Island?
Staten Island. It's got a lot of Irish and Italian.
But anyway, so a lot of the Irish Americans originally were actually Protestant. And when the Catholics started going over there, I think it was the Protestants used to ridicule the Catholics, just like, I think it said they basically likened them to drunk dogs. Basically, when they went over there, they ridiculed, and they were. I mean, now the Irish Catholics in America is just ridiculous. There is a ridiculous amount, but the original Irish Americans were Protestant, which is quite interesting. It means nothing to me. No, I'm not American. But I just thought, looking it up, and I found that interesting fact. It might be interesting to some people. Who knows?
But weirdly, there's all this stuff on St. Patrick's Day where people have to wear green and they've got to wear shamrocks and stuff. And the shamrock is, part of his thing. That was his drive to kind of educate people on Catholicism.
I did used to wonder about the shamrock and why it was.
Yeah,
why it was like sort of quite a big thing in Ireland.
And that'll be why, I guess.
We've
just learned something today.
But
his original, his saint's colours, if you like, were actually blue. He was more renowned for wearing blue.
Oh, really?
But over the years, green, I guess, from the shamrock, has kind of overtaken that. In the same way that Santa Claus used to wear green, but then because Coca-Cola took him on as a...
Well, yeah, but also, I don't know if you ever listen to Joe Rogan's podcast.
No.
I mean, they're long. They do take some listening. But there's actually books out there, and I don't know the names of the books, but one of the theories of Santa and the red and white was because of the magic mushroom, because it's red and white. And the presents under there was like... there was something to do with like a Christmas tree, and the mushrooms those sorts of mushrooms always grow under that kind of tree.
Oh, really?
So that represents the presents under the tree, and the red and white Santa's outfits because of the red and white mushrooms.
Oh, right.
So there's a lot of professors who like to use drugs who have written theories about it, the origins of Santa.
Oh, that's cool.
And related it to the magic mushroom.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if the Coca-Cola turning it to red and white is just like a conspiracy.
Yeah, maybe.
It possibly is. But I mean, I have seen representations of Santa in a green suit.
I think that was the original either Nordic or German take on him.
Well, yeah, there's this... I can't remember what country it was. It might be in Iceland, but again, on another podcast I listened to... They heard that they were asking about different traditions, Christmas traditions. You might have heard this one. I think it was on Tell 'em Steve, Dave.
Yes.
Where they were saying about their version of getting the coal in the bottom of your stocking was like a demon coming up and slaughtering you if you're naughty that year. It's kind of like, what the fuck? I'm sure that was Iceland. Was that Iceland?
I think it might have been, yeah.
It was one of those, that area. Over there. So,
up there in the north.
But yeah, there's loads of different, I don't know, that kind of took a turn for the worse. But yeah, wearing the green.
Shamrock. It just possibly. Over time, it came from the shamrock thing, and I guess the colours of the Irish flag as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is kind of a thing now where you do associate green with Ireland, but that's possibly because of that. I mean, there is a lot of green in Ireland.
There is, yeah. It's
just
it's
naturally
really beautiful.
Yeah, I've never actually been there. It's somewhere I do want to go. I've been to Wales, but only to Cardiff. I do kind of want to go to the valleys because they look nice. Wow.
Now that I've scrolled down a little bit, and the United States St. Patrick's Day thing, Chicago, the river in Chicago, which I believe is called the Chicago River.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They dye it green on St. Patrick's Day every year. They just
every year
pump loads of green, I guess food colouring or something into the water.
Or Mountain Dew.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I don't know if Mountain Dew's actually green, is it? That's just the colour of the bottle.
No, I think it's just the colour of the bottle. It's like a yellowy green,
isn't it?
Yeah. But, yeah.
It's not an official holiday in the United States, so.
No, not a legal holiday.
But I mean, it's not in England either.
No, it's not. No, it's only it's a recognised.
It's a recognised day.
It's a bank holiday in Ireland, and it became a bank holiday in Ireland in 1903. But not in Britain because it's not our patron saint.
Yeah.
Everyone celebrates it all over the world. I mean, there's various.
Do we have a bank holiday for St. George's Day?
I don't think we do. I don't think it is a bank holiday. People have been campaigning for years to make it a bank holiday.
But why? People just want an extra... How many people do you know in England that celebrate St. George's Day?
Not a single person, really. I mean, pubs put up flags.
Yeah.
And that's about it. No one gives a shit because...
But if there's a bank holiday, everyone's going to love St. George's Day.
Well, yeah,
everyone will celebrate it.
Yeah.
We're not what you would call a patriotic country.
Not really. There's not a lot to be...
Until it comes to football. And when... England rugby, when the Lions won the World Cup.
Yeah. Whenever we do all right at some sport.
Yeah, then we become really patriotic. Yeah. Like the Olympics. Most people in England don't celebrate the Olympics. No. Even when the Olympics were being held in England, no one cared. But as soon as we started winning medals, everyone went mad for it. Yeah. I personally was looking forward to the Olympics.
I watched it virtually all day, every day. Like I get in from work and I would turn on the TV, watch the Olympics, then I'd watch the roundup of the stuff that I'd missed while I'd been at work, and then I'd go to bed, and then I'd wake up, go to work, come home, watch the Olympics, and it happened for 2 weeks. And then I did the same with the Paralympics as well.
I didn't watch the Paralympics.
I don't often. This is the first year I've watched it in, properly.
Yeah.
But then I think that's because of the coverage. You don't often get brilliant.
No, you don't generally get like 10 channels showing it 24 hours a day.
No, that's
I mean,
right.
I didn't used to watch it religiously. I did come home and I'd flick it on and see what had been happening. I watched like because I enjoy running. I watched a lot of the track events.
Yeah,
like, I watched Jessica Ennis. I watched Mo Farah. Mo Farah was oh my god,
utterly brilliant.
Was amazing. But yeah, Jessica Ennis. I just thought that was
amazing,
and I was really annoyed. Well, not annoyed. I was a bit put down because her first day it was her first day, started the day of James and Dawn's wedding.
Oh, right.
And I was the best man. So I got to watch like the first event that she did, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to miss the rest of it now.
Rubbish.
But I did watch the second day. That was, I don't know, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It did make me go out and run
but that's when I joined the gym as well.
Yeah,
I joined the gym on the day that Andy Murray.
It was really, like it said, inspire a generation. It wasn't just a generation.
No, it kind of inspires everyone to do a little bit better, look after themselves a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did kind of take up my running a bit more, but then I don't know what happened. I'd done my 10K event, and I think I probably ran a bit too hard, and I just fucked my knee up.
Oh, right.
Like now, if I run, like I was running sort of like my long runs on the weekend, I was running like 8 miles.
Bloody hell.
I was just running 8 miles, and now I can't run 3 miles without my knees start hurting, and then the next day it still hurts.
Bloody hell.
Which is really annoying, but I've got like resistance bands and stuff I brought off of Amazon that we didn't get credit for because it was delivered to my address. Got the resistance bands, so I'm kind of working on probably strengthening my knee. That was, I don't know, I struggled with that. Talking.
Oh, I got awful cramp on, what was it, Tuesday, I suppose.
Yeah.
I was I had to change my routine at the gym because it was packed out. Instead of doing the cycle first before I went on the cross trainer, I went on the cross trainer and then did the cycling.
Oh,
but
okay.
I didn't. So it didn't. Usually I do the cycling to warm up,
so that gets your joints fully. Yeah.
And then about halfway through, about 10 minutes into the cycling, my right calf bunched up to the size of my fist.
Oh my God!
And I couldn't extend my leg.
That's not nice.
And it didn't go down, and it pulsated.
Oh,
it was like there was something inside it. It was
so
such a weird thing. I was just like, because it wouldn't.
That's like, that was your gym session.
It was horrible. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I had that with them. Because I got the resistance bands on the weekend, I believe. Saturday, I picked them up. And then I done Monday and Wednesday, but I was doing like tricep extensions.
Right.
And basically, you stand on the resistance band. You hold the handles, and you hold it behind your head.
Oh, right.
So your arms, the top of your arms, are pointing upward. Your elbows are pointing up into the air, basically. And then you just kind of lift.
Oh, I see.
Lift it up like that. And I was obviously using way too heavy. I've just moved well away from the mic there. Using like way too heavy resistance, obviously. And like the next day, my arm, I couldn't
bend
to scratch my nose. I kind of lifted my arm as far as I could, and then I bent my head forwards to scratch my nose. I was trying to put my bag on my shoulders. I was like, oh, it's horrible. So I gave it a rest, and I'm going to go again tomorrow, and I'm just going to use a lightweight again. But yeah, they're like, you get a complete full body workout from them, and it's just
that's quite cool.
It is amazing. You can do anything with them. I brought this set. I think it was like £10 on Amazon. You get like 2 handles for your hands. You just clip the resistance band on, you get 5 different bands.
Right.
You just clip the handles on. You've got ankles, like ankle straps as well, so you can clip it to ankles, so you can anchor it to a bed, and you kind of do.
I see.
Leg work, and then you get a door anchor as well that you put in the door and hook it onto.
Righto.
So you can get a full workout with them. £10
cool.
Amazon.
Ah, there you go. And go through abhpod.com.
Hey, it's finally worked out where I was going with
it. Because we haven't plugged that yet.
That was a good advert. Yeah. Not that but yeah, definitely go for Amazon because we're not getting credit for my purchases.
No, please buy stuff through Amazon.
We still have 31p.
So
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, we went well off topic, but the Olympics really inspired us to hurt ourselves horribly.
yeah, that is kind of where we went with that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but basically, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated all around the world. It's generally not so much the religious thing. I think in a lot of, especially Western countries, anyway, it's more about having a drink and all the rest of it. I actually went to Dublin once with our friend Ian.
Yeah, what was this joke I done the other day? Oh, because I was Chloe. Sorry, I am going to go on a tangent because you said Dublin. It's a really bad joke, so I've just completely fucked myself up here. But yeah, Chloe's learning about Great Britain at the minute. So we're saying about capital cities.
Yeah.
So what's the capital city of Northern Ireland? And she was like, I went, duh. She said, I went, it's not double out. And she just pissed herself laughing.
Did you say the capital city of Northern Ireland?
Capital city of... That's what it said on our homework.
It's wrong.
Is our homework wrong?
The capital city of Northern Ireland is Belfast.
It might have been Republic of Ireland, it said on our homework. Yeah, it's Belfast. Why did it say Dublin on a
I don't know, but it's wrong.
I'm going to have a word with their school. I'm going to have a word with their school.
The Republic of Ireland is Dublin.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland.
And maybe it was
Belfast.
Republic of Ireland, it said on our homework, and I just said Northern Ireland by mistake. Maybe I just said Ireland. Anyway. I'm just confused and stuff. But yeah, I said double out, and she laughed because she knew Dublin. Anyway.
Yeah, we went out there, and I don't think I've felt more uncomfortable getting into places before in my life. Because you're there for St. Patrick's Day, and you got a British driving licence, and you got British accents. It was But once you're inside, everyone's just having a great time.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, you feel awkward, but you kind of have to realise that you're in their country and you're celebrating their traditions.
Yeah,
I mean they've got to respect that.
Oh, of course.
As long as you don't come across as a British person going, yeah, I'm a quarter Irish, fucking St. Patrick's Day.
No, I wasn't waving that.
As long
flag.
as you don't go like that, and they're like, you're not a fucking Irish.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on the door, this bouncer was IDing us. I gave him my driving license. He was like, fucking Brit. And I was like, okay then.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't like you.
No.
But they're not going to beat you up for just celebrating their traditions.
No, I think it was... I think it was meant lightheartedly. I don't know for sure.
No. Oh, well.
It was one of those. But we met some really cool people. We thought about bar hopping, but it wasn't going to happen.
No.
Like we got there the day before, which was kind of cool. We had a night out, and we went to this pub and we had a meal and stuff, and then we went back to the hotel. Finally found the hotel that was a lot further out from the city than the internet led me to believe. I thought it was going to be like a 40-minute walk, and it was more like a half-hour drive.
Jesus.
Which was a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
Then the next day we went into town. I think we went in at about 10 o'clock, got ourselves a McDonald's, watched a bit of the parade, and then started drinking. And it was the last day of the Six Nations that day as well. And
you like the last day of Six Nations?
Yeah, it's a thing. But we stayed in this one pub all day. We found a space at the bar,
Jesus.
like at the corner of the bar.
Or should I say Jesus?
Jesus. We found this place at the corner of the bar, and we just stood there. We watched all 3 rugby games that were on that day.
Oh my God.
And then we stayed there all night because it just got mental. It got really, really packed. Sorry, I'm fiddling.
So even getting out was a problem.
Yeah.
So
we
were
just
like,
well, we've found a space. We're going to stay here. And we did. And we drank lots and lots and lots. And we met so many people because we were because we were stood at one point. Everyone at some point came past us. It was really weird, and everyone's in a really good kind of mood.
You stood in a junction that people were using to get.
And there was this crazy Canadian guy who was there on his own. I think he had been with people, but they'd gone to another place, and he decided to stay. He liked that bar. Yeah, pub. He was interesting. He was slightly obnoxious. There was a point right at the end of the night, where the pub was kind of emptying out, and he was talking to us. He kept buying us drinks, so we were being friendly with him.
Yeah, well,
we were drinking green Heineken. They coloured the Heineken green. And
which is a lot more difficult than it sounds, because it's not put green food dye in. Because if you put green food dye in it's already like a yellowish gold colour anyway. To get it green,
don't know how they do it.
Proper science there.
Proper science shit. But
unless it was brewed that colour.
Yeah, this group of girls caught his eye, and he kind of bowled over to them, and was like, "Hey." My friends over there, pointing to us, think that you're really cute, but I think you're only so-so. I think he was trying to kind of, be a bit cheeky, and he just came across like a bit of a knob, and that's when we were like, we don't need to be here anymore. I don't think
you're that great, but they do.
Yeah.
So, like, that might work in Canada.
It might. Well, I just think
it seems a bit strange for a Canadian to be kind of negative,
obnoxious. Yeah. But then I think, he was just having fun. But it was at that point that we were like, you know what, we don't want to get slapped by these girls, because they would have.
Well, you wouldn't get slapped because they're Irish.
Yeah, you'd have been laid out. But yeah, the problem there was we were going to go to a club as well, and at 2 o'clock in the morning it still hadn't opened.
Because the bloody bar people were probably out celebrating St. Patrick's
But there
Day.
was a massive queue of people. It went like round the block. It was mad. So yeah, we went back to another bar, and to try and get home, back to the hotel. Sorry, we'd forgotten to book a taxi.
Oh,
and obviously it's the biggest night in Ireland, where everyone in the world descends upon Dublin. So there were no taxis. and we were a long way from the hotel.
Yeah, half-hour drive.
Yeah,
as you said.
So what we did,
drunk.
we kind of wandered the streets. We got a kebab, as you do.
Yeah, I think we did that when we came to see you in uni as well.
Yeah.
What was it that? What was Ollie doing? He had did he have a bag of chips and he was threw it at a chip shop or something weird?
Oh yeah.
Was it traffic cone?
He
was I can't remember.
Yeah,
that was pointless. But yeah, there was something strange he did that was funny, or it was a big sign of some sort.
Quite possibly. I don't know. I was probably not exactly in the most sane frame of mind.
No, it was quite a drink heavy night. Liz would remember because she was pregnant.
That's right.
She was pregnant at the time, so she wasn't drinking.
But yeah, so
wandering the streets, kebabs.
Yeah, I almost got arrested because we were in this off-licensee greengrocery type place that was open at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and really needed a piss. And there was an open door in the back that went through to the toilets, but I didn't realise it was staff only. Because it was open. Yeah, the door was open, so I was like, "Well, it's this or pissing in the street," because I don't know.
Yeah,
and I got
I don't think that's allowed anywhere.
No, I got massively bollocked by the guy who was behind the register.
Yeah,
and he went to take my driving license from me so that he could call the police.
Right.
And I was just like, all I did was go back there and use your toilet. Like, would you rather I pissed on your doorstep?
Yeah, you would have phoned the police then as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
either way, you're going to phone the police.
He was being quite.
And the fact you've got an English accent probably made him argue.
Yeah, and I was out having a good time, and he was working. You know. Yeah.
And to be fair, you were pissed, so you were probably being a little bit. Obnoxious as well.
Without a doubt, I was being obnoxious.
Because you do even without meaning to. It just happens.
The thing is, he was trying to take something of mine away from me.
Yeah, which would have been stealing.
Yeah.
And it's a legal document.
Yeah, exactly. And I need that to get home.
Yeah. So he probably could have got in trouble himself.
I think so, but it diffused itself, and we were fine. We talked our way out of it.
Yeah. You almost got arrested for taking a piss.
I know.
In a toilet.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then, eventually we flagged down a taxi and we're just like, because there was no one in it. And we were like, can you take us back to our hotel? And he was like, well, I've got to pick someone up like very soon. And we were like, please, just get us back to the hotel.
Yeah.
We'll give you all the money in our wallets. Everything we've got on us.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, all right then. And he tore back to this hotel. We had just enough to cover the fare.
Oh my God.
I went through 150 quid that week. That I was going to say weekend. It was 2.5 days. No. Less than 48 hours.
That's ridiculous.
And but the thing is, we got back to the hotel, and everyone was still up in the lobby drinking, and we stayed up with this bunch of Scots
who kept buying you drinks.
Yeah, until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Actually, saying that, you say you spent 150 quid in the bar. There was a Canadian buying you drinks all night.
Yeah.
At the hotel lobby, there was Scottish people. So you actually done quite well.
Very well.
You could have spent a hell of a lot more money.
We
probably didn't
have no idea how much we had that night. But we weren't messy. I mean, Ian never gets messy.
Yeah,
anyway,
no, I think it's one of those things when you're having a really good time, you tend to not.
No, you loosen up.
When you go to festivals, like at Reading, we would wake up sort of like with the sun, and it's like at the tail end of the summer. Oh, it's in the tail end of the summer?
Yeah,
just after
August, the end of August, beginning of September.
So you kind of wake up. We need to get some pop shields. We wake up
at about 5,
6 o'clock in the morning. You don't go for your bottle of water.
No.
Well, you do. You go for your bottle of water, you brush your teeth.
Yeah.
You put the bottle of water
and
down.
And then you get the beer out.
You grab a can.
Yeah.
And you drink all day, and you never get pissed.
No. It's difficult to get pissed at festivals, I find, actually.
I think it's because you're expelling so much energy. Like, you're just sort of sweating it out before it even has an effect.
Yeah, I think it's roughly the same when you're out, like you say, on a big night out like that as well, where you're chatting to everyone and you're having a really good time. So it's not taking the effect that it would usually have. But then we had to get back to the the airport the next day, and we went through all the different types of weather. There was snow, rain, sunshine, everything on the trip. It was a really odd bus journey, and then we got back,
and it's not that big a place either, so it's not like you're travelling a long way.
No, it was only about a 45-minute bus ride.
And you had all of the weather.
Yeah, it was so odd. And then when we were at the airport, it started to blizzard. I mean, this snow just came down.
Yeah.
So much so that our flight was delayed for ages, and we only just got on the last flight out. About 4 hours after we should have done. Neither of us had any fucking money, so we couldn't buy any food or drink while we were there.
Oh, that's horrible.
So we were sat in this bar.
And you weren't delayed long enough for the airline to give you vouchers for food and drink. Yeah, we were only delayed
about 3 or 4 hours. So, but we were sat in this bar drinking tap water because I didn't have any money left in my account. I'd wiped myself out. And Ian, I think he might have had maybe 10 quid left or something.
Yeah, and that was for petrol to drive from the airport back to Maidstone.
And we were kind of sat there and talking away and just going over what had happened the night before, trying to piece together the story. Oh, no. And this woman comes over and starts talking to us, and she's Irish, and we're having a good conversation. She starts buying us some more beer.
Oh my god! Fuck yeah. Like the luckiest people in the world.
Yeah. And we found out a lot about this woman. She was a lesbian. And yeah. She is. Sorry, it was because you met her in the past. I only met her once.
Yeah.
And she was going over to Manchester to go to a house party and get laid by some girl that she was talking to on the internet or something. Very, very crazy. Strange.
That's normal now.
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
Back then it would have been a bit weird.
Yeah, it was 2007, 8. So maybe not. But we were having this conversation, and it had been about an hour, 45 minutes, before I realised she only had one arm.
Oh my god.
We were talking so constantly, and then all of a sudden I noticed that she had her arm amputated just above her elbow.
Yeah.
But
did you bring it up?
It was one of those things that, once you notice it, you can't stop looking. Yeah. But I found it so weird that I'd gone for so long talking to this woman without noticing.
Did you mention it though?
No.
That would have been funny that you'd have gone,
where's your arm?
I just realised you've only got like 1.5 arms.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I figured after that long that I should probably have noticed straight away.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, you're sitting there wondering, I've only just noticed it. When did Ian notice it?
Yeah, I don't know when Ian. I think he noticed it way before I did. He probably noticed it straight away. But when I said to him about it after we'd left or she'd left, I was like, "Did you notice the arm?" Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "I didn't notice until about half an hour, 45 minutes after we were talking to her." He was like, "Oh," it just gave me that look.
Yeah, I know that look. I know that look very well.
Kind of, oh my god.
Really? Why am I friends with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely
that's been asked many times.
That is definitely him. One of the nicest blokes, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think. So we said that you looked up the origins of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And then we went off on a tangent.
A massive tangent, as usual.
Yeah. So I went looking up things that happened on the 17th of March in the past. In 1984, the boat race.
This is the Oxford-Cambridge.
Oxford-Cambridge, the boat race.
The boat race.
If you're English, it's the boat race.
Where
that nobody watches.
No,
nobody
where
watches.
2 teams from Oxford and Cambridge,
biggest universities in
race their.
I
was going to say canoe, but it's not a canoe, is it? It's a rowing boat. It's it's
like the Olympic
ones.
Boats. Yeah. So the 130th boat race in 1984 had to be postponed less than an hour before it was due to start because the Cambridge boat. Basically, they rowed into a barge, like in their practice runs. I think they were rowing, and the reason, the coxsman, he's the guy that sits facing the right way because they're all backwards. He's facing the right way, and he's supposed to call stuff out to them. He was. Hang on, they're not blaming him, but it's got to have a lot to do with him because he's only 5'4".
Yeah,
and he struggled to see over the rowers, like all the taller rowers. So, but they're not blaming him,
right?
But yeah, he ended up. But basically, they rowed into it and they broke the bow.
Brilliant.
And they had to kind of row a dodgy boat with a broken bow. I mean, there's a picture of it there. They had to row that back to the steps to get out. Some of them had to swim, obviously because their end of the boat was broken.
Yeah.
They had to swim, and they described it as cold.
Cold, yeah. Cold. The Thames.
But yeah, so they postponed it until the next day. Well, they had the Cambridge boat. What is it? £7,000 in 1984. That boat. So that was fucked. So they had to borrow a boat from the local rowing club. And the result? Cambridge lost, surprisingly enough. Yeah. They were in a borrowed boat that wasn't £7,000. But yeah, they ended up losing. I don't think they'd have
won with their own boat with that guy being in charge.
Yeah. It is Coxman, isn't it? Yeah.
Cox.
The boat's Cox.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose Coxman. Peter Hobson.
I think it's Coxman or Coxswain.
Coxswain. Oh, it could be, I suppose.
Coxon. I think it's pronounced Coxon.
Oh, I don't know.
But it's spelt Coxswain. I don't know.
Yeah.
The little guy who shouts.
What does it say? Officials first hoped the race could go ahead the same afternoon with a substitute boat. But it was decided the tide would have turned by then. And they did suggest doing it in reverse.
Right.
But no, they just postponed it to the next day. But yeah, I mean, they lost. Which is a shame. But I thought it was quite funny. Where is it? 84. Just double check the result. Yeah, Oxford won. And also in 1995, Ronnie Kray died.
Yeah, notorious gangland, East End gangland.
Yeah, he. What were they called? It's in here somewhere. What the crew? I can't remember. They were like the Firm or something, wasn't it? The.
Yeah, I think it's something like the Firm.
It's not the Firm. Yeah, it is the Firm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man once part of the infamous gang, the Firm.
Because
he had a heart attack. He was in Broadmoor.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he was mentally unstable.
Yeah, because Reggie was kept in Maidstone prison.
Yeah, Reggie was in Maidstone prison until he died, I believe.
Yeah.
He died
a bit later on.
Well, this says in June 1997, no, Charlie, the other Kray, said he died in April 2000. But down below it said their elder brother Charlie, who served 7 years. But up the top it said
12 years.
12 years. He died in hospital as an inmate. So I'm thinking, no, that couldn't have been.
Or maybe
that couldn't have been Reggie, could it? Because he would have served more than 12 years.
Yeah.
But it is about the right sort of time. He died. Oh no, he died in hospital. He was actually, he didn't die in Maidstone, did he? He was actually moved a couple of years before.
Before he died, yeah. Yeah, but that was our town's most famous prisoner.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, yes. Oh, no, here we go. The surviving brother Reggie, who had hoped for parole after serving 30 years in prison, got released as a dying wish. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
When Home Secretary Jack Straw ordered his freedom, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer and given weeks to live. He died in October 2000. So, yeah, we're not sure how many years Charlie actually served. Unless it's two separate things. He charged 7 years there, but he actually done something. Maybe. He was part of a multi-million-pound cocaine plot. Oh. So maybe that he was jailed for 12 years afterwards.
Maybe.
After a £39 million cocaine plot. I'll do the maths, probably. But yeah, he died. He was also gay.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's quite a good film called The Krays with the guys from Spandau Ballet. Yeah. Whose names escape me completely.
It's in here. I'm just trying. Martin Kemp.
That's it. And the other Gary Kemp. Yeah, that's quite a good film, actually.
I've never seen it.
Really good.
I've never actually seen it. A lot of people have seen it.
But it was Ronnie who died on St. Patrick's Day, 1995.
1995. He died of a heart attack. Yeah, I love this. Ronnie, a homosexual who'd been married, was taken to Heatherwood Hospital in Ascot. But yeah, this is the actual news story. So it says 2 days ago. But that's the actual news story.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Ronnie shot George Cornell in the Blind Beggar Public House in Whitechapel in 1966 for calling him a fat puff.
Touchy.
And later, Reggie stabbed Jack the Hat McVitie in a flat. Yeah, so they were jailed for 30 years. And they actually served 30... Well, Ronnie didn't because he died just before his 30 years, I think. And I think Reggie was very close to serving his 30 years, but he did get freed because.
But they're this kind of.
This is funny. Despite many people had campaigned for their release as they were seen as having a sense of honour by ridding London's streets of criminals.
Yeah,
despite using violence, many insisted women and children were safe as long as the Krays prowled the streets.
Yeah, this is the thing. People talk about the Krays as if they were kind of like Robin Hood type figures, almost.
Yeah, they were doing really bad things, but they were they were seen as serving public service.
They were doing things that the police couldn't. They were getting rid of the original
Justice League. If you want to put it like that. Like Batman and Superman, they're like vigilantes, kind of taking the law into their own hands. I mean, they were dodgy.
I don't think Batman ever knocked over banks or.
No, they were dodgy as fuck, but they were.
But it's weird.
A lot of people they did kill were because they were horrible to their wives. And
and generally the people deserved what happened to them. But it's strange, isn't it, that certain criminals are glorified. By the they get this status of.
I mean, a lot of it could have been just due to the film and the way they were portrayed. I mean, like I said, I've never seen the film. Were they portrayed in the film as evil people?
No,
or just violent people.
Violent, yeah,
but not evil.
The film, no, the film kind of takes the kind of view that. Essentially what it said there, like they were bad people doing bad things, but the people they were doing the bad things to were worse.
Yeah.
So therefore...
they were the better.
Yeah, essentially they were doing things that the police couldn't do. They were getting rid of the criminals as opposed to just arresting them. They would...
Yeah, arresting them, then releasing them later because they've changed.
They were putting them underground.
Yeah. They're not very good. So, something that happened this week, Chris Huhne, the MP that's in prison, I think he's serving 7 months.
Him and his
wife got less, I think.
Yeah.
Because he basically got his wife to take the rap for a parking.
Wasn't he the Minister of Transport?
Hang on. I don't want to give away too much of the story.
Sure, yeah. But basically what happened is, I don't know whether anyone takes notice of a lot of the news, but Chris Huhne was caught speeding.
It was speeding.
A few years back, I think, when him and his wife were still together, because they're divorced now. And I think it came up, during the divorce that she actually took... Was it that
he was over 10 years old, the scam?
Yeah,
She took his penalty points after he was snapped by a speed camera.
That's right. But unsure whether he made her do it or whether she did it willingly. But essentially, he transferred his driving points. His penalty points.
Yeah, basically said
wife's.
She was driving.
Yeah. But also recently, just before he was in prison, he was snapped. Driving the wrong way down a one-way street.
Oh, really?
And also cycling the wrong way down a one-way street.
That's one of the cycling thing. That's one of those things I'm always like, if they're in the road, yes, it's wrong. If they're on the pavement, you're not supposed to be on the pavement.
No, you're not.
But people do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so on his first day, disgraced MP Chris Huhne was ridiculed on his first day in Wandsworth Jail. What happened is it was breakfast time, and the prison warden over the tannoy system called out, "Order, order! The Right Honourable Member for Wandsworth North down to the office." Basically called him to mimicking the House of Commons speaker.
Brilliant.
Calling him down to his breakfast. So all of the other prisoners were Other prisoners at Victorian Jail in South West London roared with laughter as former Cabinet Minister Huhne, 58, trudged from his cell to pick up his morning meal. Yes, I just thought, I read that and I thought that was absolutely fucking brilliant.
Wicked. I mean,
but no one said whether there's whether the guy's getting in trouble for doing it.
I hope he doesn't.
No, I mean it's just, isn't it? I mean, eventually, the people that have been in prison for a long time probably got quite a good rapport with the
with the guards.
With the guards and the wardens. I mean, he's only going to be there 7 months, so...
Yeah. And he's a privileged MP who's disgraced himself.
Yeah,
so
he basically screwed the system for over 10 years.
Yeah.
You know.
And if you're high profile and you end up in jail, bad things are going to happen to you. You're not going to have an easy time anyway. No, not at all.
So
not the same kind of
worse stuff that could happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure he'd be having a worse time of it if he'd have been found guilty of being a paedophile or, a murderer or something. Well,
this one says there's another story on the same page that ex-cabinet minister. You think? He was on a jail wing for vulnerable prisoners because other convicts humiliated and bullied him. So he's not having a good day. Not a good time there. So he has actually been moved.
Or maybe he should have thought about that before he broke the law.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon.
Yeah, and it doesn't actually say whether he was Minister for Transport. At all.
Maybe he wasn't. I'm not sure.
He might not have been, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Brilliant.
That's a good... Anyway, we were going to do...
we were going to introduce
we had this idea,
a feature.
Was it suggested by Jo?
It was, yeah.
Suggested by Jo. She said about doing an episode, wasn't it? On basically, this episode would be the next episode would be...
to do kind of a theme around A, B, C, D.
But I think that would be very difficult. And it turns out this has been difficult because we decided we're just going to do it as a little segment, I suppose, kind of bring in something to do with each letter. Something with each letter. We don't know how it works.
We were going to call it the ABCs of ABH.
Yeah.
Which I think that was a good idea of yours.
Yeah, well, it kind of send up of a podcast.
Something else.
Yeah, another podcast. But yeah, the ABCs of ABH, I suppose we can call it, where we bring in something. I chose something and then realised it's technically not an A. Cause I basically do it on a song, or it's an album, but the song specifically, I suppose I can play for you because we've worked out how to do that as well.
Yeah.
But it's called We Are Always Searching. But I kind of thought I'd do it... The phrase "always searching" because I thought it's kind of fitting because of like we were speaking about the religion thing. I'm looking for something.
I see.
So I kind of put it along that because I was thinking maybe have that as a tattoo, just always searching on there to remind, and always also say stop waiting for things to find you. You should be looking for something. Nothing's going to change unless you change, I suppose. Does that make sense to you?
Positivity.
So rather than waiting for good things to happen to you, make good things happen. Search, always search. And I was going to have that as a sort of reminder to myself.
Okay.
So instead of sitting there going, I fucking hate this job, do something about it. Which I have. I've got my second interview for a team leader job on Wednesday.
Ooh, actually, I'm going for
presentation,
a contract.
actually.
I'm going for a contract.
You're going for a contract.
As well.
But that's the thing. It was one of those things. I wasn't going to do it. I was like, I'm never going to get it. And then my team leader kept saying, no, just go for it. Just do it. It's easy. Go for it. And if you don't, I mean, I have gone for one last year and I didn't get it, so I thought, oh, that's kind of
same here.
Kick you while you're down, I suppose. Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about your contract situation, because I remember you saying before. But yeah, so I thought, fuck it, go for it. And it's always a reminder. And it's a band called I Am Ghost, which not a lot of people would have heard of.
No.
But me and Liz, they've broken up now. But me and Liz went and saw them on their only UK tour. And we actually met them as well, and they're really nice people.
Oh, right.
I mean, we can play a little bit of, I suppose.
We'll give it a go.
Let's see. Yeah, it's worth it. I've got to say, I do like the inclusion of violins in the kind of punk. They are a goth punk band. I mean, I very much doubt my dad's going to like it. People might, though. But you should go out and look for them. This is on Spotify. I've got it. I have got the album as well.
And it's I Am Ghost.
I Am Ghost, yeah. The album, Lover's Requiem. Here it comes. We're not sure on the legality of playing copyrighted music, so we are actually going to stop it there. But I think I like it because it's got the, I just like really melodic sort of punk music. I suppose you'd call it goth punk.
Yeah, it's kind of in the vein of Alkaline Trio.
Yeah,
with violins.
Yeah. And I do like the violin. That woman, I think that was the last album she was on. There's another album. I think she recorded, but she didn't tour with them because she got ill.
Right.
I've actually got a personal YouTube channel where I used to upload like little clips from concerts I went to, and we got clips from the I Am Ghost one, which we were quickly told to stop because it was a Krang tour.
Oh.
And I had a comment on it the other day, actually, kids saying that woman's actually his teacher now.
Oh, really?
Which I thought was quite interesting.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So that's my I Am Ghost. Always Searching is the We Are Always Searching is the song.
It's a good A.
I mean, it's the first one, and I've just kind of fucking bent the rules already.
Because this is going to happen more and more as we go through the alphabet. We're going to have to start bending
almost
the rules
30 weeks where we've got to come up with words. I mean, X, we're both going to bring in xylophone, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, or an X-ray, perhaps. I don't know. But
or xenophobia.
See, there's
anyway, that's a long way off yet.
I've brought in an A as well. Well, I haven't brought it in. I've got it up on my internet, and it's basically the appointment of the Pope, the new Pope, because there's a new Pope now. They finally made the decision. They put the black smoke up the chimney, or the white smoke. White smoke. And he's Pope Francis the first. First Francis. The first Francis,
and also the first Latin America.
Yes, yeah, they've gone for Latin America. Not what's his name?
Well, that's what it says.
Yeah, he's from, what do you call it, Argentina.
And surprisingly enough, he's not young.
No, but I don't think you can be young as the Pope. I think you've got to have done your time.
Well, in a Dan Brown book, you can.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I think they appointed a young one, or he was acting Pope because the Pope got murdered.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I read it.
Yeah, I've only read the Da Vinci Code.
I made a point of not reading that one first. I read the first.
Probably a good idea.
My favourite one was probably Angels and Demons, and I haven't seen the film because I don't want it to wreck it.
Yeah, don't.
Is it not good?
I've only seen the Da Vinci Code, but that wasn't very good.
I don't even think I watched the Da Vinci Code.
No.
Because, I mean, the books, a lot of people complain about the books, but I kind of like them. They're nice light read. I say light reading. A lot of it is quite difficult to understand. But
what I liked about it wasn't the story. It was the stuff behind it, all the kind of conspiracy stuff behind it.
It was the research, sort of.
Yeah. I couldn't give a crap about the characters.
No.
It was all about, like, it's really weird.
The coding, like, or the using the codes, like decrypting, the cryptography, and
having a look at all the kind of stuff in the artwork and the rest of it.
But the appointment of the Pope.
That was, when was he appointed? March 13th, wasn't it? I think he was up until March 13th. He was Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio.
You can see why I went for Francis
of Buenos Aires. Yeah, a little bit. But I don't think Pope Jorge has quite.
Pope Jorge.
It's not quite Pope enough, is it?
No, I suppose not. Pope.
But,
see if you can fit that in a sentence this week and let us know.
And he seems to be
a Pope.
He seems to be quite an austere, serious-looking man.
He's got to put an end to all the controversy, I imagine.
Yeah, he's coming to clean up the last guy's mess.
Yeah, a bit like Obama and David Cameron.
Yeah,
that's what they promise.
What we get is probably going to be something completely different. Apparently, he has a humble lifestyle. Apparently, he travels on the underground and the bus when he goes to Rome. He flies economy class.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Oh, so he's not business. He's not business Pope. He's not high flying rock star.
Question:
Pope. Mm-hmm.
Does he pay for his tickets?
I have no idea. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, great. You fly economy and you take the underground. Bet you don't pay for it.
Yeah.
Like it's just because you do that doesn't make you a great person.
He's a man of the people.
Do you know what? I fly economy as well.
Yeah, so
I use the tube.
Yeah, I used the tube yesterday.
Doesn't make me special.
But
I don't know. I just don't like it when people say that they use that as a means to say, look at me, I'm normal, you should love me, I'm a man of the people.
Yeah, I know, it's a bit pathetic, isn't it?
No, if I had the option, I'd fly first class. That's a bit more honest, then,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, like, totally. If I had the church's money, I'd go business.
Yeah, like you got the money, do it. Just be a bit more honest about it. Kind of fucking own it.
But he was anointed. So that was my anointing the Pope.
Yeah. And it's topical as well.
Yeah, but I how do they get the smoke the right colour? I don't understand.
It's
how
probably
that happens.
just like a chemical. It's probably just like they found out years ago if they chuck mud in there, it comes up black. If they chuck cocaine in there, it comes up white.
It's probably coke. Let's face it.
That's why everyone gets so excited when it comes up, because they're all instantly off their face.
I just have this this vision of all the cardinals sat round in that room smoking massive cigars, filling the room with smoke, like hotboxing the room essentially,
and then just opening a hatch
and
to
then
let
just
the smoke
being like, they all sit round and they're like, right, voting time, or maybe it's not cigars, maybe it's weed. Yeah,
it's weed, and they're like, they hotbox it, they get so stoned, they're like, who's going to be Pope this time?
Hands up, can't vote for yourself. Right, Alan.
Alan.
Dave. No.
Jorge.
Everyone, hands up.
Who's got the best name, he wins.
Right, open the chimney.
White smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it is, because they can be in there for however long it takes them to decide, and I think every day they have to let out, sort of like, today it's black smoke because we haven't decided, but they're not allowed to leave the room until they've decided.
No, it's kind of like being on jury duty.
But no one's allowed in. No one's allowed out, no one's allowed in.
No one knows what happens.
It's kind of like you make a decision or you starve.
Basically, yeah. And they're all quite old, so...
Yeah, they kind of need their sugar.
Yeah.
I need my insulin, let me out. Oh, fucking hell. Wrong. Well, so anointing the Pope. I am Ghost. We are always searching. Yeah. Always searching.
Always searching.
Always
searching.
Searching.
Message.
As a message, yeah. Don't fucking wait for stuff to come to you.
Exactly. Go out and grab it.
So, yeah, I think
that's a positive way to end the 8th episode, I feel.
I would just like to say, last week, last week, I just want to point out, when I said about the rational mind. Yeah, I just want to point out, I wasn't saying people with religious beliefs are irrational, because that's how it's. I think I said it and I thought, oh, that's funny, I'll keep going with that. Like, I wasn't calling sort of religious people irrational. I was merely saying my mind has to rationalise things.
I love how we're still tripping over this 2 weeks on.
Well, it's 2 weeks for us. It's only a week for people.
I know.
Yeah. I said it twice. I tried to hammer home the point of rational mind.
So, yeah.
But no, I was literally saying I always try and rationalise things.
Yes.
Which is why I find it hard to believe.
I hope we haven't offended anyone.
But I am always searching. I hope we haven't offended anyone with our opinion that we never reached. Oh. Anyway,
oh dear.
Yeah, so that is it for this time.
Yeah, we apologise for last week's episode and our constant use of the phrase. I hope we haven't offended anyone.
Yeah, that was pointed out to us from Loz.
Yeah, One-Eyed Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to get him on at some point.
Yeah, I think
he'll be a fun
He's
person.
contributing a bit on Twitter.
I think he still lives around the corner.
All right. So yeah, why not? So yeah, positive note. Go out and grab it. Always be searching.
Always be searching for something.
Yeah, for something, whatever it is that's going to improve your life. That has been Anywhere But Here for this week.
Yes.
Find us on Twitter. I'm Hey It's Me Tom.
And I'm Hey It's Ant. Email us abhpod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Watch on YouTube, I suppose.
ABH podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, and buy your stuff. If you're buying anything from Amazon, go to abhpod.com. And
there's a banner in the top right hand corner, and it has changed itself now. It's not Mother's Day. It's not Valentine's Day anymore. It's Kindle, I think, at the minute.
Yes, I think you're right.
Buy yourself a Kindle.
Why not? They're useful.
Read some Dan Brown books.
Yeah.
Which you can also purchase for your Kindle through our link to Amazon on our website.
I like it a lot.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Take the survey that's on the on the website as well, because we've got a survey there. Basically, what it does, Anne pointed out last week. it'll hopefully make us find out a bit more
about you.
Yeah.
You know, there's questions about like how often do you listen to us every week? How many times do you listen to it? How much of it do you generally listen to? Do you listen to half an hour? Do you listen to the whole thing? It's just general stuff like that. It asks, I don't know, about your wage bracket for some reason. It is anonymous though, like you don't have to tell us who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's working. The news stats tracking, I'm having trouble with that, but I'm going to leave it another week or so to see if that's working.
Rightio.
But that's not important to you.
No.
No.
It's important to us.
Yeah.
Right,
anyway over here.
Anyway but here, for this week, I have been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye!
Oh my word.
We got into that about half an hour in. It started to feel better.
Yeah.